We are now entering the final week of June, and this month has been incredible for not only game announcements, but also some games releasing. This week, we're actually seeing a whopping 30 games landing onto Xbox consoles, but today I'll be covering the 13 that look incredibly interesting. As always, do make sure to look out for the Xbox Game Pass icon so you know what games are actually coming to the service for this week. But with that, my name is Fletcher, and this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive in and see if any of these games are worth your time and money. First up, on the 24th of June, we actually have the release of TMNT Splintered Fate, and this is a new spin on this franchise as the Turtles are now going on a roguelike adventure. To give you some clarity though, in Splintered Fate, no two runs will ever be the same, as it's got lots of randomized power-ups, room layouts, and boss modifiers. You'll also be able to team up with your friends for co-op action as you go out on an adventure to save Shredder, or whilst mysterious portals appear across New York City. When this game actually arrived on Switch late last July, a lot of different press outlets actually loved this new entry and even drew comparisons to the likes of Hades. Since then, the game has also got multiple different updates, adding DLC content and improving the overall experience. Personally, I'm actually really looking forward to trying this one when it comes to Xbox consoles on the 24th of June, and there's even a physical copy to boot. A bit of a unique one is actually coming to Xbox Game Pass that I've never played before, though it's been sitting in my backlog for quite some time, and it's known as Volcano Princess. This heartfelt parenting sim has actually earned pretty incredible positive reviews across over on Steam, and is praised for its emotional depth and warm storytelling. In this one though, you will play as a single father raising his daughter in a fancy kingdom, guiding her growth, education, and relationships as she finds her path in life. The way it quietly explores themes of family and the mother's absence is very subtle but touching. Visually, it's full of cozy charm with lovely artwork, but I will say, if you're not into slower, text-heavy narrative games, it might not be for you. That said, it's a thoughtful and meaningful addition to the Xbox Game Pass library, and I'll be curious to know if you're planning to give this one a try on the 24th of June. Horror fans take note, as Poppy Playtime Chapter 4 is nearly here, and is finally launching on Xbox consoles on the 25th of June. This latest installment in the viral horror puzzle series looks to be the biggest and most intense chapter we've seen so far, continuing our descent into the eerie depths of Playtime Co.'s abandoned toy factory. With new twisted locations for us to explore, alongside horrifying enemies for us to face, and long-awaited story revelations, Chapter 4 is really shaping up to be a major moment for this series. If you're unaware, this series really is known for its creepy vibe, its inventive puzzles, and memorable characters like Huggy Wuggy and Mummy Longlegs, and Poppy Playtime has built such a loyal fanbase over the years. If you've been keeping up with the previous chapters, it looks like things are about to get a whole lot darker. The countdown to June the 25th is officially on, and I'll be keen to see if you're diving into this one. I Am Your Beast is the newest title from Strange Scaffold, making its debut on both the Xbox Series consoles this week on the 25th of June. Originally released back on PC last year to some very strong reviews, it's a fast, stylish first-person shooter where you take on the role of a retired secret agent going rogue against an entire military faction. Each level drops you into compact, enemy-filled arenas with one goal: eliminate targets and reach the exit. How you do it is entirely up to you, but of course, speed is the key if you're chasing some top scores. You can sort of think of it like super hot stripped-back intensity mixed with the momentum-driven flow of Neon White. With fluid combat, creative kill options, and a pulpy action movie vibe, it's built for many of you who love pushing the pace. If that sounds like your kind of chaos, it will be available for just $20 when it lands this week. I think it's safe to say that System Shock 2 really did revolutionize storytelling, atmosphere, and gameplay in many games today. It really did completely reshape the way that many viewed the potential for storytelling in first-person games, and went on to win over a dozen awards. Night Dive Studios though are back with their restoration talents, and this time bringing the game up to modern day standards. System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster has been completely rebuilt with improved visuals, enhanced gameplay, and vastly improved performance, meaning up to 4K 120 FPS. It is not only the most visually impressive version of this title to this day, but it will also be the most stable, as numerous bugs from the original PC game have been fixed as well. If you are interested in revisiting this masterpiece of a game, or just want to see why it was so influential back in the day, then you can dive into it when it launches on the 26th of June. Before we dive into the remaining games that are coming out for this week, please do consider subscribing to join one of the fastest growing Xbox communities here on YouTube. I will be doing plenty more exclusive previews here on the channel, along with reviews, news and updates every single day, so now's the best time to join our awesome community. Thanks again for your continued support so far this year, and let's dive back into the remaining games for this week. An exciting Xbox Game Pass title that is landing this week for console players is Against the Storm. While the game has already been available on PC and PC Game Pass for a couple of years now, it's finally making its long-awaited debut on consoles for the first time. Set in a dark fantasy world that's actually ravaged by endless apocalyptic rain, you will be guiding a mix of human and animal settlers to tame the wilds and rebuild society. What really did set Against the Storm apart though from its roguelike loop is that your settlements can be wiped out by the dreaded Blightstorm, ending your entire run. But all of your upgrades, experience and resources do persist, giving you a head start next time and a better chance of survival. If you're tempted to dive in when it finally launches, Against the Storm hits consoles on the 26th. Personally, I'm a huge fan of city builders like this, and with the glowing reviews and a top tier 2023 rating, I can't wait to dive into it. The excellent and massive survival game known as Rust is seeing a massive Xbox Series X and S release this week, and I know it's really anticipated by many within the survival space. If you somehow don't know what this game is, you'll start with nothing but a rock, and from there it's a race to gather resources, build your own base and defend yourself from everyone else. Rust's community is really known for being rather ruthless, and what you think will be a friendly encounter turns into utter chaos and many bloodbaths. The tension is always incredibly high and the stakes are always very real, and from my own personal experience, don't ever trust anyone within this game's servers. It's a game that really does keep you on your toes, and if you're looking for a survival experience this week, then Rust is certainly worth diving into. I will be covering a review of this one in the new update, so do subscribe down below so you don't miss out on this upload. Here's some huge news for strategy fans this week, as Warcraft is making its way to Xbox Game Pass, though it is exclusive to PC, for now anyway. Console players, you will need a bit more patience unfortunately, but for those of you on PC, it really is a major drop. You'll be able to access both Warcraft 1 Remastered, Warcraft 2 Remastered, and Warcraft 3 Reforged as part of the service, which is a massive deal considering their legacy. These titles really help define real-time strategy as a genre, and whilst Warcraft 3 Reforged had a very rocky start, the core game still delivers. The remasters bring in visual upgrades, refined controls, and quality of life improvements, making them well worth a revisit. Personally, I'd love to see a brand new entry in this series, but for now, this collection is a welcome addition. They hit PC Game Pass on the 26th of June, and hopefully we won't be waiting too long for a console version to follow. If you're a Black Desert player still gaming on Xbox One, you'll want to take note, as support for the previous gen versions is ending this week as the game makes the jump to a native Xbox Series X and S release. For those unfamiliar, Black Desert is a visually stunning, action-heavy MMORPG, really known for its deep character customization, its fast-paced combat, and expansive open world. The developer of this one, known as Pearl Abyss, did share an update in a recent video explaining that hardware limitations on the Xbox One are now preventing them from delivering new content very smoothly. Once the new Xbox Series X and S version launches, Xbox One access will be discontinued. However, there is no need to worry about your progress though, as Pearl Abyss did confirm that all game data, purchased items, and pearls will carry over and will be fully accessible on current gen hardware. So if you've been holding off on an upgrade, now might be the time to make that leap. Launching this week on the 26th of June, Ruffy in the Riverside is a vibrant indie platformer from developer Socrates Laboratories, and it looks to blend hand-drawn art with inventive gameplay mechanics. It is set in the whimsical open world known as Riverside, and the game looks to introduce us with some very unique abilities called Swap, and it actually lets us copy and paste textures in real time, turning icy terrain into lava, vines into waterfalls, and so much more. Alongside this creative twist, we'll be able to roll across hay bales, solve some clever environmental puzzles, take on enemies, and jump between full 3D exploration and classic 2D platforming segments. The game also looks to include some cool side quests, hidden treasures, and challenges spread across 7 distinct regions, each packed with secrets to uncover. If you are interested, it does land on the Xbox Series X and S consoles as well as Xbox One consoles later this week. I'm really eager to jump into this one, as I've been following the game over on Twitter for quite some time, and every time that I see some brand new gameplay or trailers, it looks just so bloody wonderful. One release that I'm actually really excited to finally see coming to Xbox consoles is Anvil Saga, and that's due to the fact that the game is such incredible fun and I loved it over on PC. To give you some concept though, you will basically manage your own medieval workshop and then navigate the complexities of faction politics during the 100 Years' War. The game does actually allow you to build and upgrade your own blacksmith shop while juggling different customer orders, hiring your own workers, and then making some tough narrative choices that do actually shape the future of both your own business and the own village. It honestly has such addictive sim mechanics, and it was so hard to put this one down. It's kind of one of those games where you want to dive in for a quick 20-minute session, but next thing you know, it's 4 AM and the birds start chirping. I highly recommend it when it comes to Xbox later this week, and it's a high recommendation from me here at Xbox Nation. So, what game are you looking forward to this week? You'll have to let me know down below. Remember to like this video if you did enjoy this, and subscribe for more Xbox content every single day. As I mentioned, we have some more exclusive previews, some more reviews, and so much more coming up in this upcoming week, and I'll be keen to hear your thoughts. Whilst you're here though, why don't you check out my exclusive preview of Holdfast Nations at War. I was given exclusive access by the developers prior to the game's launch on the 9th of July, and I tell you what, this is one game you definitely need to check out.